That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, David Stokes.
And we have reached the big 50.
Biddy.
We're on our 50th episode of Camp Strange. And
Done this shit 50 fucking times.
And we're happy to have you guys. Yeah, we have done it 50 fucking times. And you say that with such disdain.
No, I'm so happy.
And we're super happy to tell you these stories. And we have some news for you if you guys want to listen.
Oh, yeah.
So, David, do you want to start with the news?
I can start off.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really research this one. I just saw that a 16-year-old kid won the Fortnite World Championship and won $3 million.
I saw that.
That is more money than Tiger Woods has won from a golf tournament.
Really?
That's more money than whoever just won the old tennis match won.
Jesus.
Yeah. And he's fucking 16.
It's crazy. I saw that. I think it was like today or yesterday, and I was like, I don't know what I would do if I had $3 million at 16.
Well, you don't get all of it.
Like
big tax man coming through.
That's true, but like your parents can never say anything about you like playing video games ever again.
Yeah.
Like he just bought their house probably.
Yeah, and from what I saw, even the people that got dead last, you want to guess how much they made?
No. I mean, because you have to like qualify for the tournament, right? I said no. I don't want to guess how much.
Fucking asshole.
I didn't mean to say that. I was like, no, 100,000,
50,000.
Okay,
for coming in dead last.
Wow. Oh, well, like how many people are in the tournament?
I don't
Do you know?
I didn't see that part, but I guess there's a huge scandal going on where, like some guy like cheated his way into the competition.
I heard about that.
I don't know exactly how he did it, but I guess people were really happy when he was eliminated.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard it was something about like along the lines of like your friends signing in and then you're just like allowed to kill your friends to like boost your own stats or some
I think
shit
he kind of
like that.
piggybacked off people letting him kill him.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should vet it that like a lot more if they're going to be handing out $3 million for winning, which is crazy. But like he proved that he wasn't a good player, but you still win if you got dead last. It's still $50,000 at like.
I would take $50,000 right now.
Yeah, I would lie. I'd cheat my way into a Fortnite competition and just like not touch the controller and be like, kill me.
I would floss the whole time.
I wouldn't even play the game. I just sit there and floss, do like the L dance with the forehead thing.
Our beloved
so
L dance.
Fun. Okay, well, I have some news too. As Iowa official ousted after singing Tupac Shakur's praises to coworkers. So this guy Jerry Foxhoven was apparently he's a huge Tupac fan. He's 66 years old.
Yeah.
And he's the Department of Human Services director, and he sent emails to 4,300 agency employees telling them to make sure to listen to some Tupac over the weekend because it was his birthday. So, and on his 65th, on Jerry's 65th birthday, he got a bunch of cookies delivered to the office that said Thug Life on them. He usually had Tupac Fridays in the office. And, apparently the agency released 350 pages of emails that contain the word Tupac or the number 2 and then Pac. You know, like how they spell it like that too. Pac. So, apparently they said that it was, unrelated, his emails, but they also, they made him resign, which is really sad because, he just, as Jerry said, where's the quote that he really liked? He just wanted to inspire some people with some Tupac lyrics, and he said he really got inspired by, he told colleagues he was inspired by lyrics that included, "It's time for us as people to start making some changes."
Mm-hmm. Great song.
The famous Bruce Hornsby beat that was made more famous by Tupac, and
I had to Google it. Tupac would be 48 right now.
Really? That young? I mean, it seems like he would be older, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
I think he was pretty young when he died.
Yeah. So, but he's still posting, he's still sending emails, even though he's resigned. I mean, I don't know if he's sending them to the colleagues, but people just like really enjoyed him, and some people really didn't. But he got the love for the Tupac messages, and he also got the hate, just like Tupac himself. So, which he's still alive. He's not dead.
Yeah, he's in Cuba.
I actually did a persuasive essay in sophomore year of high school. They said you had to do a persuasive essay, and I did on the 7-day theory, which he's still alive.
What's the 7-day theory?
It's just like all these like numbers correlate and stuff like that, and how like Machiavelli was a war strategist that faked his own death, and like that was like his pseudonym, and then about like how many bullets, and it was just like I don't know, it's a bunch of bullshit, but it's fun, and I got it.
Had to do with the numbers from Lost that were Yankees players.
Yeah, but I didn't. Nope, spoilers. I've never seen it, but
you've never seen Lost?
I watched. The fat guy was just too fat after
Hurley.
He didn't lose any weight. And how long was he on the island?
I
know the spoiler. I'm not gonna say it. Okay, you tell your next news story.
You need to watch that show, man. I know the ending wasn't great, but some of that shit leading up to it was great.
Oh shit.
What are you doing?
I didn't mean to do that. It's my next news story.
You fucker. So my next news story is a jury decides that Katy Perry's Dark Horse copied a Christian rap song. Yeah.
Please tell me the name of the Christian rap song.
Joyful Noise.
That doesn't sound like much of a rap song to me. I mean, Katy Perry's Dark Horse doesn't sound like. I guess they got Juicy J on it.
Yep.
Never mind.
The
I
old
take
Juice
that.
Man.
Do you think Juicy J was on both of them?
Yeah. Definitely. Big Christian rapper.
I really gotta hear this song now, but it's probably shit. It's probably pretty bad.
Don't you dare.
I mean, there's been some good Christians rock. Big Creed fan.
Big Creed.
You know me.
Yeah. I've seen the posters.
Hoobastank, as you like to say, Jesus' middle name.
Definitely not a Christian band.
It's not? I thought it was think so. Jesus' middle name.
It is Jesus' middle name, Jesus Hoobastank Christ, but I don't think that they were a Christian band.
Okay, whatever you say.
Pretty sure they had explicit language. My shirt keeps sticking to the wall.
Okay, well, let's go to this next news story that I have, and that was that noise that you heard. On August 31st of 2019, if you live in Madison, Wisconsin, from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., you can be a humble goer to the swamp of the one and only Shrek as you attend Shrekfest 2019.
God, I'm so envious of anybody that can go to that.
So, and if you guys want to check out Shrekfest 2019, we are not paid by them. My girlfriend sent this to me, and it is.
We get it. You have a girlfriend.
Stop. And it's at Warner Park in Madison, Wisconsin. And there's just a big. You get some waffles and some beer, and they have a schedule that starts with 3 p.m. They have a roar contest. 4 p.m. They have a pin the tail on the donkey, costume contest at 5, a band at 6, and then at 7 to wrap it all up. They got an onion eating contest. And
I can't think of anything that sounds worse than an onion eating contest. Did they specify what type of onion it is?
No. An ogre onion, cause they got layers. I
feel like it's a sweet onion, right?
It better be something. I mean, none of it's gonna be good, but I mean. You're not going to Shrekfest to have a good time. You're there to praise Shrek.
Yeah, it's a meeting of faith.
Yeah, you don't go to church because you love church. You love Juicy J rapping over Christian lyrics.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what you love. So so you guys go check out Shrekfest 2019. People are just dressing up like Shrek. They got ears. People in green face paint screaming into a microphone.
I guess those are ears, aren't they?
What else could you want? What? The things on top of his head? Those are ears.
Yeah, I never really thought about that. I guess he does pull earwax out and make a candle at one point.
Well, then you're not allowed to go to Shrekfest if you're that naive, honestly. They have good merch, too.
Yeah, their merch is cool.
Anyway, if you guys live in Wisconsin, go to Shrekfest. Send us pictures, because we would love to go, but I can't go.
First person that sends a picture of Shrekfest gets a free T-shirt.
Yeah. Oh, actually, but you actually have to be there. You can't just send a picture of somebody else at Shrekfest.
Yeah, but it has to be you.
Yeah. Before we get into these stories, I'd like to remind you that we are sponsored by Spring Hill Jack Coffee Company. But if you guys like good coffee, go check out springhilljack.coffee. Yes, .coffee.
That still blows my mind.
And you can actually order their stuff through Amazon Prime. Get it in 2 days if you need your coffee fix, and you get jump started for your day. So go check out them. They're great. and great prices and great coffee. So, David, I think we should probably get into these stories that we got cooking for you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So our memories tend to be a mixed bag of moments and experiences. Sometimes you can reach in and pull something out from over 15 years ago with no problem, while at the same time not be able to recall what you ate for lunch just the day before. Although we sometimes have trouble, if we focus hard enough, we can usually find the details. But what if you couldn't? What if you couldn't recall anything from your life? Any details, any moments, or any memories? Although it does seem very unlikely, it becomes a lot more plausible if you also happen to be a filthy, no-good, dirty liar.
Oh.
This is the story of Kaspar Hauser. So, I'm going to get into the story. It's a very, very strange story from Germany, and I don't want to give up too much at the very top. But
Is Kaspar a German name?
Kaspar, it's Kaspar. Yeah, so
I never really thought about that.
I mean, well, that's the thing. We don't really know if he's German or not.
Okay.
So we're going to get into it right now. So on May 26th, 1828, seemingly out of nowhere, a young man wandered onto the streets of Nuremberg, Germany, in search of something. In his hand, he carried a letter with him addressed to Captain von Wessenig of the 4th Squadron of the 6th Cavalry Regiment. The heading of the letter read, "From the Bavarian border, this place is unnamed, 1828." So on the heading of the letter, that's all it said. It said, "From the Bavarian border, the place is unnamed, 1828." So the first person the boy came upon was a shoemaker named Wickham. At first, the boy did not speak, only handing the man the letter.
He should have been a candle maker.
Why? Because Shrek ears?
No, his name's Wickman.
Oh, it is. It might be Weichmann. I'm no good at German. He's like, I just light shoes on fire all day. Light the laces. They're like wicks.
I make people into dancers.
So Weichmann read the letter quickly and realized who the boy was looking for. So the shoemaker promptly escorted the boy to the front door of Captain von Wessenig. Once Weichmann took him to the house, the boy began to speak, but only repeating the words, "I want to be a cavalryman as my father was," and "horse, horse." Those were his two go-tos.
Horse.
Horse, horse.
Like, that's his own little thing. Like, just, like, if you're like, hey, man, you want to get some drinks? Be like, horse. Like, all right, let's go.
Or he's like, hey, man, you want to go get some drinks? He's like, I want to be a cavalryman as my father was. And he's like,
hey, shit, you already been drinking. You're already ahead,
cut him
bud.
off,
Horse.
cut him off.
Horse, my dude. Let's go.
So you're going to find out why those are the only two things he liked to say, or he knew how to say.
Okay, so he never said anything else. It was just like, it wasn't just that's what he liked to say.
No,
that's just
those
only
are the only
what
things he said.
Okay.
So
What a dick.
Yeah, so Captain von Wessenig greeted the boy and gladly took the letter to read. The anonymous author of the letter stated that the boy was given into his custody as an infant on October 7th, 1812, and that he instructed him in reading, writing, and the Christian religion, but never let him take a single step out of my house. So he basically taught this kid reading, writing, some religion.
Did he?
But he
taught him 6 words.
Yeah, this guy like kind of was like bullshitting a little bit.
That's good enough.
But like
the kid doesn't know how to say yes or no.
Yeah, and he also didn't let him take a single step out of the house because the letter stated that the boy would now like to be a cavalryman as his father was, as you heard him famously say. And in the end of the letter, invited the captain either to take him in as a cavalryman, or if he didn't want to take him in, he could just hang him.
Yeah.
That's what it said at the end.
It's devotion. I'm either gonna do this or you're gonna kill me.
He's like he didn't teach him some words to read. He didn't teach him to read or hang him. He's like, oh look, you wrote at the end to make me a cavalryman. What's this part after? He's like, that's a big period.
Oh, you'll find out.
Yeah, you don't know about that yet. So. To Captain von Wessenig's surprise, there was another short letter enclosed claiming to be from his mother to the prior caretaker. So this was the letter that the caretaker got, who taught him jack shit. So it stated that his name was Kaspar Hauser, and that he was born on the 30th of April, 1812, and that his father, a cavalryman of the 6th Regiment, was dead. They really are hanging on to this cavalryman thing.
They really are.
That's all they got. He's like showing up like in his old it's like the old Letterman, but it's just like a cavalry jacket.
It's got a couple bullet holes in it.
He's like, oh yeah, I was a cavalryman. So oddly enough, though, it was found out later that the letters actually had been written by the same hand. So that's a little weird, you know? They never found out who wrote them, but they definitely had the same handwriting.
Always write the fake one with your left hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or your right if you're left-handed. Your non-dominant
or
hand.
your toes.
Or your toes. Your mouth works.
Or just don't write anything and learn to say horse.
Horse.
That's always working.
I think I've got it down.
That's how you get in the Army. Horse.
Horse.
So Captain von Westenegg questioned him more about the letters and his origin, but was only met with tears and the repetition of the words, "Don't know."
Oh, so he does know no.
He pulled out a third one.
He doesn't. He knows
"Don't know"
with the K, but he doesn't know yes or no, does he?
Yeah, he thinks those are different. Well, they are different words.
Yeah.
Are they different words?
Or what?
No and no. Just kidding. So he pulled out this one out of nowhere, and now everybody's just like freaking out. You know, don't know what. So
what do you know? Horse.
So instead of choosing in the ultimatum between making him a soldier or hanging him, he chose to just call the police and get the boy out of his hair. You know, he's like, I don't want to need no horse Boris screaming on my doorstep.
And then he became police chief captain.
Just throwing him in the car, and he's like, "My father was a cavalryman. Horse." Wow.
Great respect.
That's a hero.
Yeah.
So he was taken to a police station where he was able to impress the officers a bit by being able to write his name. So he did know how to write. He said some prayers, so he just pulled those prayers out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And he was also able to show that he knew what money was. I think he was able to like understand like the concept of money. So like he kind of had an idea of like civilization, and he also was able to read a little bit, I guess.
You think anybody accidentally took him to a brothel, mishearing horse?
Oh,
horse. He wants whores.
Okay.
Let's get this little freak to the house, huh?
Like, we can't write this in the story. Just say he said horse. He's like, his penis is out. He's like, just say he said horse. He's running naked up the street, opening doors.
Okay, Steven, I know his penis is out. It's been out the whole goddamn time.
So, he was able to do some prayers and, you know, a little bit of reading and stuff, but then he answered a few questions, and his vocabulary appeared to be rather limited, as we all know already, you know. So they thought that he was able to, you know, pull out. He's like, oh, he's got some prayers in his pocket, and now he just kind of shit the bed when the cops started asking him. So after questioning, because he provided no account of himself, he was imprisoned as a vagabond. So that's what happens if you don't cooperate with the police and you don't know who you are, and you don't have ID, and you just scream horse, and you're naked in the police station. They're going to throw you in prison for being homeless, I guess, a vagabond, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
So
sure.
He spent the next 2 months up in Luggensland Tower in Nuremberg Castle. So he got a good view. He was in a tower. But the 16-year-old was in good physical condition, but appeared to be intellectually impaired and refused to accept all food except bread and water. I mean, I think we could have figured out.
No hay?
No hay, despite all the horse. But I think, do horses eat bread?
A horse will eat anything you put in its mouth.
It's true. Some may say a horse and a brothel are actually much more similar than you think.
Oh,
but yeah. So I mean, but it goes to show you that, like, you know, since he was never able to take a step outside, that the whole bread and water thing was a little bit like, he might have only eaten that for a while. So, you stick to what you know.
Yeah.
So
All carb diet.
and we'll get into what his situation was once he starts talking a little bit, because right now it's all horse bullshit. So the the mayor of the town, Mayor Binder. I picture him as like a binder.
Skills.
I think of him as like a binder, and it's just flapping open as like
And his secretary of was a stapler.
Yes. So I'll go Bender. We'll go Bender. So Mayor Bender would visit Kaspar most days, trying to teach him to speak. He's not doing jack shit in the town. So, which the mayor claimed was moving along rapidly, as Kaspar was a quick learner. So apparently, like I'm saying, nothing's really going on. He's like,
he's a quick learner, and all he walked away with was horse. And my father was like,
well, obviously, this Mayor Binder is full of knowledge.
Seriously,
every binder is full of knowledge. So after 2 months, Kaspar was able to tell Mayor Binder, I'll just call him Binder, about his time before arriving in Nuremberg. So this is where we're about to get some of the little details about what this motherfucker was up to in his house he wasn't allowed to leave. So at first, it was assumed that he was raised half wild in the forest. That's understandable, probably with horses,
Figure as much.
Speaking horse, everybody knows horses yell their own name like Pokemon, or just claim that their fathers were in the cavalry, which is actually a true statement, because horses
are in the cavalry. Or it's either that, or he was in the woods with the Harlem Globetrotters playing horse.
Oh. Off the tree, off the
moose,
and in the tree. So at first it was assumed. Oh, I already read that he was half wild.
He would have been with the generals.
Yeah, the 1-800 general.
They don't win anything.
No. So
wait, that's the other team, isn't it?
I don't know jack shit.
Or is it the Admirals?
Dude, I've never been to a Harlem Globetrotters.
The Globetrotters played the team. They let them win once, which. God,
please don't Google this.
I'd be so pissed if I took my kid to a fucking Globetrotters thing and they lost. Having to explain to your child for an 8-hour drive back to small town Iowa.
Shrekfest. So we're going to Shrekfest tomorrow. Don't be too sad. So, but like I said, a lot of people thought he was raised half wild. But during many conversations with Mayor Binder, Hauser told a different version of his past life. According to his story, he spent his life totally alone in a dark cell about 7 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 5 feet high, with only a straw bed to sleep on, and 2 horses and a dog carved out of wood for toys. So he did have the hay involved, but he also had some horses too. He had 2 horses. He didn't want the word dog. He's like, horses, small horse. He learned. He thought the dog was a small horse, I'm guessing, at some point.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
What?
I did what you told me not to, and I Googled about the Globetrotters.
God damn it.
And the number one question that people ask about the Globetrotters is, are the Globetrotters in the NBA?
They are not in the NBA.
They apparently played the Lakers at one point. They have played NBA teams, but the fact that there are enough people Googling are the Globetrotters in the NBA is pretty...
They were in an episode of Scooby-Doo or a couple,
I'm pretty
actually.
sure they did a full season or something.
Something like that. So, like I said, he was in a 7-foot-long cell, 4 feet wide, 5 feet high, straw bed, 3 wood carvings.
Would you trade the 7-foot part for the 5-foot part?
7 feet high and 5 feet long?
Yeah, I think I would. I'd rather stand up straight.
And, I didn't think about that.
Then I wouldn't be able to lay down straight, though.
Well, I could do jumping jacks in there and not hit the roof. Because I'm 1'2".
Yeah.
Because I get fucking smaller with every podcast. Fuck you, David.
I didn't even say anything that time.
I was waiting.
No, I'm curious though.
That would suck but like you'd be laying down for the most part. You get bed sores.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I would take the 5-foot long room and the 7-foot tall one.
That's fair. I would do the same thing, I think.
Yeah.
So he claimed that he found rye bread and water next to his bed each morning, and periodically the water would taste bitter, and drinking it would cause him to sleep more heavily than usual. So like Bill Cosby might have kidnapped him. I don't really know, but it's not a good look. That water is bitter. So on such occasions when
Puddin' pop, horse.
you get the horse and you put him in the 7-foot cell and you
I couldn't think of a Bill Cosby voice in my head.
You're like horse. You don't know what Bill Cosby sounds like. Oh, he's in a 7-foot cell now.
Yeah.
So
Woof. Is he?
I don't know.
I know he got like in trouble.
He's in prison.
Is he okay?
Yeah. So on
Good.
such occasions, this guy was a little bit nicer because on such occasions when he awakened, his straw bed was changed, and his hair and nails were cut. That's a nice thing to do. How do you cut nails back then? Do you think he just bit them?
I'm pretty sure they would just cut your hand off.
No more nails, no problem. So Hauser claimed that the first human being with whom he ever had contact was a mysterious man who visited him not long before his release, always taking great care not to reveal his face to him. The man taught him to write his name by leading his hand and to stand and walk. After he learned these 2 tasks, he was brought to Nuremberg. That's all you need to know to do, write your name and walk. And hey, if you can make it in Nuremberg, you can make it anywhere. So
I see the other boys. They walk, but much faster.
Also,
How do that? How do walk fast?
Don't know.
Don't know walk fast. Horse.
So he's like, can you sign this check? And he's like, there's not another man's hand on my hand to do this for me. Please help me.
He's
So
holding the pen with 2 hands.
So, lastly, the stranger allegedly taught him to say the phrase, I want to be a cavalryman as my father was. But Hauser claimed that he did not understand what these words meant.
Yeah.
So he did know what horse was.
He thought he was asking for a peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, he didn't know. He ate bread and water. There's no peanut butter or jelly involved in this.
He just kept saying that, and then all of a sudden he's on a horse. He's like, where the fuck's my sandwich?
He's like, man, I could have used some bitter water today. I could just to mix it up a little bit.
I want to sleep on this horse.
So Hauser was formally adopted by the town of Nuremberg, and money was donated for his upkeep and education. Nuremberg's pretty fucking nice, honestly. The mayor like teaches you fucking how to read, and then the whole town adopts you.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. They've got their special boy in the town.
Honestly,
And they probably all love him.
they all get every other weekend. He goes to a new house, which is actually going to be kind of true.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep going.
Okay.
He was given into the care of Friedrich Domer.
Not Frederick.
It's Frederick, probably.
It's Friedrich.
Domer. Well, it's probably Frederick Dahmer, but like I didn't want to say that. I'm trying to make it sound fancier. I don't know. So, Friedrich Domer.
His great grandson was a real piece of shit.
So, Frederick Dahmer, a schoolmaster and speculative philosopher who taught him various subjects and who thereby discovered his talent for drawing. So, I feel like sometimes when God taketh away, he also giveth. So, he couldn't write his name very well at first, but man, could he paint you a
horse?
Oh, guess the only thing he drew. No, actually, there's like a drawing of a cottage, and it's actually really good, surprisingly. Yeah. So it seemed like Kaspar was doing pretty well for himself, but on October 17th, 1829, Hauser did not come to the midday meal, but instead was found in the cellar of Dahmer's house. Yeah, different Dahmer, bleeding from a cut wound on the forehead. He asserted that while sitting on the privy, what we Americans like to call the pee and poo bowl, it's a toilet.
You really liked that one, didn't you?
I thought it was pretty funny when I wrote it. What? Fuck you. So when he was sitting on the toilet, he was attacked and wounded by a hooded man who also threatened him with the words, "You still have to die before you leave the city of Nuremberg."
Yeah, time out on that. So he can say 2 sentences, but now he can recite what this guy... Was there a witness?
No, because he spent 2 months with Binder. So
okay.
Binder taught him some words, and so now he was able to like tell his story of like where he came from.
Okay.
And now when he was taking a shit, this guy said this to him, and I bet he's a better like repeater than anything. So he probably just repeated what he said. He's like, I don't know what this means, but he tried to stab me, and he said these words.
Boy, I can't think of a worse place to be physically attacked than when you're trying to do a total paint job in the old wooden shack, you know?
Honestly, seriously, that's like.
Can't you wait
if you win,
until I wipe?
If you win, you're still embarrassed. You know,
Yeah.
It's not a good situation.
You just defeat a man with your pants at your ankles covered in shit.
But like if he loses, he looks really bad, right?
Yeah.
So
Everybody.
it's a lose-lose.
No matter what, someone's gonna look awful.
It's
at
a
the end of that.
lose-lose, also known as a horse. Yeah. so so he said, you still have to die before you leave the city of Nuremberg. Hauser said that by the voice, he recognized the man as the one who had brought him to Nuremberg.
Oh.
Yeah. Hauser's critics are of the opinion that he inflicted the wound on himself with a razor, though, which he then took back up to his room before going to the cellar. He might have done so to arouse pity and thus escape scolding for a recent quarrel with Dahmer, who had come to the belief that the boy had a tendency to lie. So Dahmer was like, I think you're a liar. And then he's like, oh, fuck, I'm going to get in trouble because he thinks I'm a liar. What should I do? Oh, I'll cut my forehead and said some guy tried to kill me. And he's like, oh, you're a liar again.
How old was he about this time?
I think he was like, he was still like probably close to like 16, 18, something like that.
Yeah, I've done dumber things to get out of trouble.
Yeah, honestly. I don't have no fingernails. Cut your fingernails, David. Whoa, you can't cut my fingernails if I don't have hands. So
Clean your room. I'll kill the cat instead. So the cat attacked me.
so he tried to get out of being scolded by, of course, slicing his forehead open and hiding in the cellar.
Great idea.
So after the incident, he was transferred to the care of Joanne Biberbach, one of the municipal authorities. So basically after this, Dahmer was like, okay, well, I think I don't fucking like this kid. And also he got stabbed in my house. So we should probably move him to a new house. So the guy doesn't know where he is, but he's probably like, also, I want to get rid of him because he kind of sucks.
We don't have bleach yet. How am I getting this blood out of my wood?
So, yeah, exactly. In my privy. You got my privy all bloody. Now you just got more...
No one's going to want to use my privy if it's covered in blood, goddammit. There goes poker night. And Margarita Mondays. And Taco Tuesdays.
Keep going.
And Wet Wednesdays.
Thursdays.
And Thick Thursdays.
Fridays.
Fries on Friday.
It's Horse Friday. So the next incident occurred on April 3rd, 1830, when a pistol shot went off in Hauser's room at the Biberbach's house. This is the best one. You talk about getting out of cleaning your room.
Yeah.
Take notes, David.
Okay, hold on, let me get my pen and pencil.
So his escort hurriedly entered the room and found him bleeding from a wound to the right side of his head. Hauser quickly revived and stated that he climbed on a chair to get some books. The chair fell, and while trying to hold on to something, he accidentally tore down the pistol hanging on the wall, causing the shot to go off, and he just shot himself like slightly in the head, I guess.
A nice little graze.
So, yeah.
I don't know about you, but whenever I hang a firearm from the wall, I always load it up. Yep. Always load it up.
God, I don't know what this guy's trying to like front. Like he's like, I climbed on my chair to grab a book. Which I can read.
You always arm the C4 before you put it on the bookshelf.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, you can't read that book, dude. Stop trying to grab the book. So there are doubts whether the benign wound was actually caused by the shot, and some authors associated the incident with a preceding quarrel in which, again, Hauser was reproached for lying. So again, they're like, hey, I think you're lying about like cleaning the dishes, and he's like, I'm going to go in my room and fake a gunshot wound to the head. And they're like, or you just clean the dishes. And he's like, no, I'm gonna climb up on a chair.
I'm gonna run myself over with the carriage so I don't have to do the dishes.
I think he like smacked his head on like the wall or something, like caused it to bleed, and then he probably grabbed the gun off the wall and like shot it and was like, "Oh my god, the bullet hit me!" And they're like, he doesn't get how fucking bullets work. Like that would have gone right through his fucking head. So whatever the case, the occurrence led the municipal authorities to come to another decision on Hauser, who initially good relationship with the Biberbatch family had soured. So the Biberbatch family's like, okay, fuck this kid too. We don't like him. So in May of 1830, he was transferred to another home since Miss Biberbatch accused Hauser of being full of vanity and spite and claimed that he was a compulsive liar. So it's kind of like he's getting like shipped around to different houses, like we said earlier. You know, nobody kind of wants him. You kind of like don't, whatever you do, don't accuse him of lying, or you're just gonna have to clean up a shit ton of blood somewhere in your house. They're like,
hope you got a mop.
They're like, did you walk the dog? And he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like the leash is like still in the closet. He's like, someone cut off my penis. You're like, what?
My dick's gone. The dog is fine.
So
the dog doesn't need another walk. I need a new penis.
Trade with me, dog. Trade, dog. So another British nobleman by the name of Lord Stanhope took him in soon after and spent a large amount of money to try and figure out Hauser's origin. So this guy's just like, I got money.
Can we send this fucker back where he came from?
Honestly, he's like, so where are you from? And he's like, I don't know, but I kind of like it in your house. He's like, yeah, that's not going to work out. We're going to need to find out where you're from.
I'm from the sky. And they're like, all right, Wright brothers, figure this shit out.
he's like, I think I'm kind of vibing with this couch. Maybe I'm from this couch right here. He's like, no, that's my couch. He's like, yeah, but like if you think about it, it's all of our couches.
Yeah, but watch me do this.
Oh my god, he's bleeding all over my couch.
That's your couch now.
He's bleeding all over the couch.
That's a good strategy. If you want something, just bleed on it.
Bleed all over it. No one else will want it. So he wanted to go find out his origins. So Lord Stanhope believed he was from Hungary. But after 2 trips to the country in hopes to jog his memory, Hauser was unable to provide any new information other than claiming that his mother was Hungarian Countess Maytheni. I guess that's the lady's name, who's a countess. Yeah. Which turned out to be completely false. So, like, he showed up in Hungary. He's like, hey, we're going to go on a vacation to Hungary because I think you're from there. And he's like, yeah, I think I'm from there, too. And they show up there. They're like, and he just, like, literally was like, do you recognize these buildings? And he's like, yeah, kind of. Like, I don't know. And then they're like, and he said, like, 3 Hungarian words. And he's like, yeah, I might be, like, Hungarian. And then, like, all the Hungarians just fucking laughed at him. And they're like, this guy's really weird. And he's like, I don't recognize anything. And he didn't have any vital information. So,
I mean, that's a good little ruse he's pulling. Like,
he's getting free
next time
vacays.
he's like, yeah, I'm from the tropics.
Honestly.
Which ones? And which ones you want to take me to?
He's like, you got any frequent flyer miles?
I'm from Hawaii. I'm from
wherever was closest. So
Hawaii, New York,
yeah,
Cuba, somewhere in Cuba.
We
that
can
sounds
keep
nice.
naming places this whole podcast if we want to. So after the 2 trips, Lord Stanhope became frustrated, questioning Hauser's credibility. Oh fuck! There's about to be a shit ton of blood. So,
get the bandages ready.
So Lord Stanhope had also promised to take Hauser to England. Mm-hmm. Of course, he wanted
That's
another
a good
vacay.
one on the list.
Yeah, right?
Paris next.
But he rescinded the offer shortly after, which upset Hauser very much. So he was just like, hey, we're going to England. And then he's like, yeah, dude, I went to Hungary twice with you, and I don't think you're from there. You're definitely not from England. He's like, yo, I might be from England. Come on, let's go to England. And
I'm from Thailand. I see a lot of Instagram models there. What the fuck is Thailand?
So he took the England trip away, and he quickly gave the boy over to a schoolmaster, but continued to pay his living expenses. So he was like rich out the ass. So he's
pocket change.
Yeah, he's like, take the boy. I'll give him to you, but I'll like pay for like his shit. So
take
it's
the boy, but keep him away from sharp objects.
don't question his credibility. I got him out before he bled on anything. But shortly after the trips, one of the other patrons who like paid for his shit, because basically just a bunch of people in the town like paid for everything for him because they adopted him. So like the town owed him. So one of the patrons, Anselm von Feuerbach, he died leaving a note behind which read,
I mean, I would assume all these people have died.
they're all dead now, but he died when Kaspar was like
Yeah.
really in his prime, bleeding on everything.
Yeah.
So he died, leaving. So Kaspar liked this guy, and Kaspar thought this guy liked him. But when he died, he left a note behind which read, Kaspar Hauser is a smart, scheming codger, a rogue, a good-for-nothing that ought to be killed. Although he never told Kaspar to his face that he didn't like him. So he fucking just like
You
wrote.
should see his Yelp
He
reviews.
wrote this in like his will, basically, and he's like, "You
Instead
should."
of giving him anything, he's just taking everything
Yeah,
away.
and if you want to know, a codger is a mildly eccentric elderly fellow, which is
Yeah, okay.
a weird thing to call somebody who's like 20,
Yeah.
or like 18 at this point. 20.
Because he's senile. He's
He-
a senile teenager.
I think he's just like weirdly eccentric. Like he's just like
Yeah.
a crazy dude who's not that smart. So I don't. Who's a
gives me a-
compulsive liar?
It gives me a great idea for my will. It's going to be a roast.
He's like-
It's going to be shitting on everybody. And then give them like something.
Okay, I like that.
This is what I hate about you. You get on my bicycle.
It don't work.
I haven't worked since 1990.
You look stupid when you ride a bicycle. Here's my bicycle. Like fuck, I don't want the bicycle anymore.
You're a real bad drunk. Have my wine collection.
It's covered in blood. So the last incident on December 14th, 1833, Hauser came home with a deep wound on his left breast. So, yeah, there's blood involved in this one. So somebody must have questioned something. He said that he was lured to the Ansbach Court Garden and that a stranger stabbed him there while giving him a bag. When policemen searched the court garden and found a small violet purse containing a penciled note in Spiegelschrift,
Is that a language?
Spiegelschrift, which is mirror writing. I didn't know that.
What is mirror writing?
It's when you write a note and you have to hold it up to a mirror to read it.
Oh, so it's back. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, Spiegelschrift.
Sounds like that shit you would do in like elementary school.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know how you do it. I mean, you just have to look in a mirror, I guess.
You just write shit backwards.
But the message read in German, Hauser will be able to tell you quite precisely how I look and from where I am. To save Hauser the effort, I want to tell you myself from where I come. I come from the Bavarian border on the river. I will even tell you the name. MLO. And that's all it said.
LMO.
MLO. I'll
Oh,
like
ML.
he said, yeah, because he said he basically he's comes from the Bavarian border on the river, and I will even tell you the name. And then he just wrote M.L.O. and the O has the two. What do you call it? The two, like it's like a colon flipped on its side. Spiegelschrift. I don't know what it's called.
I don't fucking know what you're talking about.
Like a
It sounds,
Lufthausen.
it sounds like Charlie talk.
So it's
And It's Always Sunny whenever he like writes a note or something, like the political speech he gives
it
Dennis.
sounds like spiders involved and
Yeah.
shit. So yeah, that it didn't really tell him anything besides maybe Bavarian border on the river, MLO. I don't know that that's an acronym for something, but it ended there. And
My lovely ovaries.
sadly, Hauser died of his wound on December 17th, 1833. So that was a couple days later, 3 days later, he died, Kaspar Hauser. And
We can assume it was self-inflicted.
well, let's get into this because inconsistencies in Hauser's account led the Ansbach Court of Inquiry to suspect that he stabbed himself and invented a tale about being attacked. The note in the purse that was found in the court garden contained one spelling error and one grammatical error, both of which were typical for Hauser, idiot, who on his deathbed kept muttering incoherencies about writing with pencil. Although he was very eager that the purse be found, he did not ask for its contents. The note itself was folded in a specific triangular form, just the way Hauser used to fold his letters, and forensic doctors agreed that the wound could have indeed be self-inflicted, and many authors believe that he wounded himself in a bid to revive public interest in his story and to convince Stanhope to fulfill his promise to take him to England, but that he stabbed himself more deeply than he planned.
And he signed his name at the end of the note, then quickly scratched it out.
MLO. MLO. That doesn't make sense. It's a
No, I was joking because like there's so much evidence saying that he fucking did it that he like wrote his name then realized.
I thought you're referring to the acronym. Yeah, he's not a smart guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he signed his name at the bottom.
MLO. What could that be?
I don't know. I mean,
my last option.
I'm surprised he didn't sign it horse.
Horse.
He's like, go back to my roots.
No, that's too easy.
So just to cap this off, Hauser was buried in Ansbach, where his headstone reads in Latin,
Horse.
Here lies Kaspar Hauser, riddle of his time. His birth was unknown, his death mysterious. 1833. And also a monument to him was also later erected in the court garden where he fucking stabbed himself, probably. He has a statue erected in the court garden where he was stabbed, which reads in Latin again, here lies a mysterious one who was killed in a mysterious manner. Which is kind of cool.
I'm just confused on why everybody loved him so much to the point that he got a statue.
I feel like nobody loved him.
Yeah, I don't get why.
He was kind of a dickhead.
How did he get a statue? How did he get a memoriam thing?
I feel like those were like, it's almost like when the lore of somebody becomes something else, like where everybody that knew him died off, like
yeah, or it's like the most famous worst bank robber or whatever, that one you did.
Like
that he was like so bad that people loved him.
Oh yeah. He like got shot. Yeah, he like fucked up like 3 train robberies and stuff like that.
He was so bad at what he did that people,
exactly.
enjoyed.
And like I think people were like, oh, it's also like a little bit of a claim to fame for like that courtyard, be like, because he's like a pretty popular like legend because he was a real person. So people were like, well, this is kind of like the most interesting thing to happen in town. So like, why don't we build a statue? Because he's
like, hey, by the way, he did kill himself here trying to stage something. Pretty neat, huh? Huh, Kenny?
Sounds like
it's pretty cool, huh?
Sounds like a big old idiot to me. But they also like there's a lot of conspiracy theories around who he was, and a lot of people thought that he was like royalty, and he was like
sounds like Jon Snow to me.
Honestly, well. He was the prince who was promised to get stabbed in the chest by his own hand.
Yeah.
So, but like, it's weird because, they thought he was like a frog prince boy who just got like locked away or switched at birth or something like that. And then they found like his old underwear, which had, of course, blood on it.
Yeah, of course.
And they tested the blood and they ran it with like a bunch of stuff, and they found out that like he was actually from like, they're like, oh, he might be like connected to this royal family because he has the same trait. But then they realized that like a bunch of Germans also have that same trait or like that DNA strand or something like that. So they're like, honestly, we don't know. We think he's just from Germany somewhere. But they never connected him to like a family or anything like that. So he's still just like a big con artist, I'm guessing. So whatever.
Yeah.
So drink to Kaspar Hauser.
Yep.
Fucking asshole. Horse.
Shit.
Horse.
So, for my story today, we briefly chatted about this place, and I'm pretty sure we have both been there. I'm almost positive you've been there. I know I've been there. And last time I was there, I think I was like 13 or so I want to go back. But this story is of the history of the Winchester Mystery House.
I have never been there.
Really? I assumed you had because you're from close, right?
Yeah, it's in Santa Cruz or Santa Barbara. Oh no, Santa Cruz.
San Jose.
It's in San Jose?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've never been there because I never San Jose is pretty far from me. It's like it's over 2 hours.
For me, man, once you're out of LA, anything above that's just all NorCal.
I know. But I really want to go. I mean, it's so cool. Like
yeah.
I mean, I'll let you get into the history of it, but
so the Winchester Mystery House is one of the most curiously built is a word, right? Curiously built and confusing historical landmarks in America. The house has been sitting at 525 South Winchester Boulevard in San Jose, California since 1884. And this motherfucker is huge.
It's a big mansion.
Do you know about like the stats of it?
I'm going to guess like maybe like 40 rooms?
I'm a slam dunk on you in a minute.
Oh, no.
So this mansion once belonged to the widow of William Wirt Winchester.
His middle name was Wart?
I don't know if it was his middle name or if it was like a double last name. I think it was his middle name.
Or if it's like a nickname because of his weird face with warts all over each.
Well, it wasn't Wart. It was W-I-R-T. Wirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But honestly, that's a kind of like a rich family move when you look at it, because that's 3 W's.
Oh,
William Wirt Winchester.
Alliteration is key.
Yeah.
It makes all your golf bags look dope.
Yeah,
you
it
look like
does.
you're about to fucking run a website.
Fuck yeah, it does. And so it was owned by William Wirt Winchester's widow, Sarah Lockwood Pardee.
That's 4 W's. She's fucking killing it right now.
4 W's. What are you talking
She's
about?
got a widow at the end.
Oh, okay, yeah. Which I thought was interesting that like they still have her, like they didn't call her by Winchester. It was
really?
Pardee.
Oh.
And so this family had owned a large portion of the Winchester repeating arms fortune, famous for the Winchester repeating rifle.
That was the most popular gun like ever, apparently.
Yep.
It's like it shot like wave. It
was the
basically-
most revolutionary weapon, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Like because you used to have to reload by like shoving the thing down the barrel and shit. But this is just like load,
The
cock,
repeater.
load, cock, load,
Yep.
cock. You know.
So I'll get into that. So the company is famous for their repeater rifle, which I said, and that gun was also known as the gun that won the West.
Mm-hmm.
The lever action repeating rifle was a game changer in war from 1866 to the 1940s.
It was the gun that like had
It's almost
that,
100 years.
you had like the handle and you just like pulled it down and then pulled it back up. It
If
was
it-
really weird.
For the people who have seen Terminator when he's riding the motorcycle, he has the lever action like shotgun, I think. It might have been a rifle, but there's like that really famous scene where he's riding the motorcycle and he does like the gun twirl. He does like the cock and spin
Yeah.
thing because he's like, fucking Arnie and he's doing a one-handed thing. But yeah, so this gun was used by the armed forces of the United States, Canada, Mexico, and the Ottoman Empire.
Oh wow, they got it.
Yeah.
That was kind of like a Western thing, and then like Ottomans like, hey, hook us up.
There was a huge list of wars that it had been used in, and I didn't want to list all of them, but
Yeah.
it was used in many
Everything,
wars.
Everything.
So being the most successful rifle and most loved weapon in a time of many wars, the Winchester family was motherfucking loaded.
Oh, they're so rich.
So much money. So Sarah had suffered many tragedies in her life, like the death of her infant daughter, who died from a childhood illness. And just a few weeks later from there, her husband, William, was taken by the old tuberculosis. You know that one.
Everybody had TB back then.
Big time. Big TB fans.
That's what they thought originally, that like people got like when they got TB, they're like, oh, you're a vampire. There's a vampire or a witch like sucking your life force. And he's like,
Yeah.
Can you
just help me?
please just give me medicine? He's like, no, we can't give you medicine. I have to go hunt a fucking vampire.
You
Like,
got to get a lot of silver and garlic on you.
do you know what a lot of people used to do though? They would move to a place that was like really dry. Like they'd move to a completely new place and they thought
Dry
like,
out.
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So after all the horrors, Sarah decided it was time to have a change of scenery. Leaving their home in New Haven, Connecticut, headed far west to San Jose, where
Dry.
very dry. So dry. And this is where she bought an 8-bedroom farmhouse and decided to do a makeover.
See, she already had 8 bedrooms. I guess 4.
Not enough.
I'm fucked. Yeah, I already
I'm a
know this
widow.
is gonna be bad.
I'm an all-alone widow with an 8-bedroom farmhouse. I need to make it bigger.
That's weird because I thought she moved out here like before her husband died, but like
No.
I guess. Oof.
Yeah. So this makeover she's about to do would be considered one of the world's biggest and longest house renovations, which continued until her actual death on September 5th in 1922. I'm now realizing I didn't Google what she died from, so you're not going to get that answer here.
Tuberculosis. She probably fell down one of her weird MC Escher staircase paintings.
Yes.
You know Crazy Stairs?
Huh?
You know Crazy Stairs by MC Escher?
Is that the one that like it looks like it's going up and all of a sudden it's going down? Okay, yeah.
She probably had one of those in her house and she just fell forever.
Was it Labyrinth when she was running through all those?
Probably.
It was. Great
Where he
movie.
did the flip upside down on the stair and David
Yep.
Bowie's like, I'm David Bowie.
Look at my dick through this white yoga pant. I'm the Goblin King. Look at me cock.
Oh, you see my penis through these pants? Guess what? I kidnapped a baby too. There's a lot of questions.
So many puppets. So, from 1886 to 1922, the construction never stopped, which at times did not make sense. But it was something she loved to do. And so now we're going to do a little bit of a stat time.
I love stats.
Big time stat guy. So this farmhouse went from a 8-bedroom house to a 24,000 square foot, 10,000 window, 2,000 door, 160 room,
Yo.
52 skylight, 47 stairway, 47 fireplace, 17 chimney, 13 bathroom, and 6 kitchen mansion.
But how many horses? It's a
2.
farmhouse.
There was 2.
Of course, horse.
Horse.
Thank you. That's the only stat that matters. Damn. Dude. Okay, you know what the one that fucked me up the most? You said like 46 fireplaces.
47 fireplaces and 17 chimneys.
See, but that's the weirdest part for me, the 46 fireplaces, because like a fireplace, you can't just build that anywhere. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like there has to be like,
Hold on, let me do some math real quick. Keep talking.
okay, I was gonna say fireplaces are kind of weird when you think about it. You know, fire inside the house? No, thank you. What do you save me?
So my stat here. So you've got 47 fireplaces and 17 chimneys.
Oh wait, what?
So that means
Oh, she had like snake and shit.
so
Like,
that means
they
2.76. Fuck off.
yeah.
Fireplaces per chimney.
So that means that there must have been like fireplaces in like adjacent rooms, and then they did like a little like snake and then connected in the middle.
Yep.
Wow, that must have been a fucked up fireplace to clean
I've
because
got-
it's like four times the soot in each fireplace.
So I got a worse stat for you.
Yeah.
So 160 rooms.
Mm-hmm.
13 bathrooms.
That's fucked up.
That would be 12.3 people to a bathroom. And that's assuming that there's only one person per bedroom.
Wait, is it the pee and poo bowl?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what you were talking about because I'm American.
Also, 6 kitchens, huh?
That's not enough.
You got to get your kitchens up, bud.
See, I mean, but like if you think about it, it's like one kitchen per like, you know, a house sometimes is 4 bedrooms. So like you don't need a kitchen per bedroom. I say one kitchen per 4, but that's still the stats are off.
Yeah. And also,
So-
2,000 doors for 160 rooms.
Well, you know that she had doors that led to like fucking brick walls, right?
We'll get into it.
Okay.
So if you're thinking of doing this to your 8-bedroom farmhouse, you'll need about $5 million in 1923.
In
To do this,
1923 money, which is 2 horses.
to do this now, it would cost about. You want to guess how much it would cost to do this now?
$5 million in 1823.
$73 million. Oh. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
We could. I mean, there's people out there that can do it.
That's Iron Man money, and that's benefiting off the
Jeff
war.
Bezos, build a better house.
Show us that Bez hog.
I'm gonna vote for Jeff Bezos. Build that house. Build that house.
I want a house that goes from L.A. to New York.
It's one hallway. One hallway, no bathrooms.
America, land of the biggest hallway.
you get halfway down the hallway, there's no bathroom, just full of shit.
So, as word got out, people were stunned and confused on why someone would do this. A never-ending construction, doesn't make any sense, and that's how it got gained the title of the Mystery House, because no one knew what the fuck was going on over there. People like to speculate that maybe she was instructed to build the mega mansion by a psychic. Maybe she was haunted by her family to build it. Maybe she was haunted by the ghosts of the countless lives lost from the weapons that she benefited so much from.
Yeah.
Maybe she was just trying to drain out that flow of money because she felt guilty from it.
She's an interior designer. She's doing what she loves.
This is my favorite idea. Maybe she just loved having a team of sexy young lads, muscled, sweating, shirtless construction workers wandering around wandering around the house.
Did 1820s construction workers look different than the ones that are out there now?
They looked better because they didn't have power tools.
Oh, you're kind of right.
Yeah, it was much harder.
Okay.
Way sexier.
Okay. Like it's butt crack you want to see.
Yeah, it's way good.
Not butt crack where you're
It's way good very much.
Not butt crack that you go, oh, there might be poop in there still.
So part of the name of the Winchester Mystery House has to do with the fact that there are many architectural oddities. Mm-hmm. Sarah had she had made many bizarre demands from her builders, including trapdoors.
That's cool.
Secret passages.
Very cool.
A skylight in the floor.
That's not a skylight.
Extra spooky spiderweb windows.
Oh, they're gonna say extra sauce.
I'm sure she had.
She's like, I need extra sauce in every room.
Well, you gotta assume that if you got 6 kitchens, you got one that's just sauces. The closest one to her bedroom was the sauce kitchen.
Wait, what were you actually saying? Extra spooky what?
Spider web windows.
Oh, okay.
Covered in sauce. And my personal favorite, the staircase that leads to nothing but the ceiling.
I love that. That's cool.
I think I have a picture of a young me like sitting on that. I don't know, but I remember like sitting there for a while.
I just go up to the ceiling and be like, could be the next Spider-Man. Who knows?
Kissed it.
Have it. None of you kissed the ceiling in your house, bitches.
Yeah. Try it. Break a tooth, bitch.
Break a tooth. Buy a trampoline, break a tooth.
Put it on a shirt. There are also random doors that open to walls.
Open 2 walls?
Yeah, like you open the door and there's just a wall there.
There's 2 walls there.
No, T-O, not T-W-O. Fuck you. And
I know what you meant.
I have a feeling what happened was she accidentally clicked the wrong button on Amazon and ordered 8,000 doorknobs. And she's like, well, let's keep building those doors, boys.
I can't throw these away. But you know what's interesting? When we go to go back to like the one that I always heard, which is the one that resonated with me, which was the scariest or spookiest, was that she couldn't stop building because the psychic told her that if she stops building the house, that the spirits would find her because they are lost within the house.
Okay, yeah, we'll get into it.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that already. I'm sorry. I thought you said like one of the reasons.
A little bit.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Okay, so, and then another one of my favorites is that there is a door on the 2nd floor that opens out into nothing but a 2nd-story fall into the garden.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Well, hold on. I got an idea here. Maybe she just
Could be
enjoyed
drunk in
some
the
extreme plant watering. Cowabunga. Cowabunga, my dude.
I would pee out that door often.
I would only pee out of that door. Can I get a French door? Is that the one that opens in half?
I think so. I don't know. I'm not fancy.
So part of the confusing layout of the home is due to the part that, in its shape, it's kind of a labyrinth. No, it's not kind of. It is a labyrinth.
Back to David Bowie.
Yeah. It was believed that she designed the house in a maze to confuse the ghosts so she could get away to some peace and quiet until them ghost bastards found her.
Okay, so yeah,
Santa, you mean bastard!
I guess I touched on that a little bit too early. I thought you were
just a tad too soon.
Sorry,
but
I'm
no,
a
it's
dickhead.
Fine.
Fuck.
So one of the most insane things about this house to me is that there has never been a discovery of a master plan. They've never found like a blueprint that she made for it or anything like that. Like there's
nothing?
Yeah, there's nothing. And so Sarah either made it up as she went, or she did have a master plan that she destroyed before her death.
I feel like she seems like the type of person to just be like, put a door there. And they're like, that's a ceiling. And she's like, did I fucking ask you your opinion?
God, if only we could have given Sarah Minecraft.
She's like, chip a tooth, buy a trampoline, break a tooth, put it on a shirt.
But ma'am, fuck you. Go to the sauce closet.
If I see you come out of that fucking sauce closet, there's going to be hell to pay. I'm going to build another door in front of that.
3 doors just to get to the sauce closet.
3 doors
is it
down.
Too much? I don't think it is. So if ghosts are the reason for her madness, there's another idea that the house was made out of Oh, sorry, no,
candy.
sorry. If the ghosts weren't the reason for her madness, there's another idea that the house was made out of inspiration of English philosopher Francis Bacon.
No. That boy loves sauces.
That boy was the first one to slice off a piece of that hog and sizzle it dry.
Got
So-
TV.
So people believe the purpose of the labyrinth was actually a puzzle full of encryptions inspired by Bacon. And some of the clues of this point towards the hidden message in the ballroom with Shakespeare's windows and iron gates.
Shakespeare's windows? What does that mean?
There were like windows that were inspired by Shakespeare. I don't know if they had like his
I see.
literature on it.
Oh, okay.
But the theory also supports that Sarah was a member of a mythic society or multiple mythic societies.
I believe that. So
Yeah.
she was like super into psychics, so I
and
can
way
see her-
rich.
Yeah.
What society is gonna be like? Yeah, let's get that rich bitch over here.
Rich-
She's gonna pay for all of our wine and orgies.
Let her in the club. Let her in the club. Yeah, exactly. Like if you're rich, you have a lot of time to kill. You're not doing anything. You're gonna join some clubs. You know, you're gonna get involved in some occult stuff. Skull and bones, skull and crossbones. Is that what like the Bushes were involved with? Like people with power and money, they get involved in some weird shit. Bohemian Grove, another
Exactly.
thing. You know, it's weird shit going
The
on.
secrecy of it is like probably the biggest draw.
Yeah, exactly.
So another insane fact is no one is exactly sure how many rooms this house has.
Wait, is there a frog boy in one of them?
I would say there's about a 78.625% chance there is a frog boy or girl waiting,
To be freed.
ribbiting, snatching.
Your
at them.
story is riveting.
So, yeah, after Sarah's death, the house was obviously turned into a tourist attraction, which it is now. And after her death, people would continue to find more and more rooms. And after 5 years of renovations, they estimated the number of rooms was about 160, but many believe there are still many rooms that could be discovered that no one has seen behind doors or, secret doors or trap doors or
That's
anything like
fucking so crazy.
that. Yeah.
Like,
Like-
what do you think the chances are, though? Do you think that's
Oh,
just
like-
kind of like a touristy thing where you're like, there might be more? Or do you think, like, because you brought up, like,
I think there's at least 3 or more.
you remember, like, the castle where you're like, can they, like, do, like, an X-ray or, like,
Yeah.
some kind of, like, 3D graph? Like, that would be fascinating if they found, like, another trapdoor. But I feel like
That
there's...
hadn't been touched
I
since,
feel like, yeah.
yeah.
But I feel like there's been too many
1922.
people in that place now to not find it, right?
You'd think so, but maybe it's just that damn good.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We got to get all those construction workers.
You got to pull on every part of that building.
If you're not yanking bookshelves off the walls,
If you're not yeeting every book into the corner.
eating the guns off the walls and actually shooting yourself in the head.
So like I said before, this house is a tourist attraction, so it's pretty open to the public behind a fee. And when you get to go into the house, there's a possibility of some paranormal activity. And you guns to see some ghosts.
Because they're lost just like you are in there.
So many of the ghoulish reports involve footsteps echoing from nothing, at least of this world, banging of doors, and they ain't making baby doors, mysterious voices, windows that bang so damn hard they shatter, oh baby.
Well, there's enough windows to shatter everything twice.
Cold spots, strange moving lights, not the normal type of moving
Orbs.
lights.
We're talking about orbs.
No,
here.
I mean like a chandelier shaking.
Oh, okay.
And doorknobs that turn themselves.
See, she bought too many. This
Too
is what
many.
happens.
She bought those cheap ones.
Aliens can't open doors.
They can't,
Nope.
but my dog can.
I don't get what that's referencing. I was
So-
doing a scary movie reference, but okay.
No, you haven't seen that trailer for that new horror movie, Dogs with Thumbs, where they keep opening
Shut
doors?
the fuck up.
So,
Dogs with Thumbs, the movie.
From reports of people who have worked at the mansion, they say that the 3rd floor is the most haunted because that's where the servants lived,
Oh, they treated them like shit, probably. Huh?
obviously. But this section of the house is not allowed to be seen during tours, just for the obvious reasons that it's haunted.
That's that's actually creepy.
Yeah,
Like, that's the one that you would want to go to, but they're like, we can't. Like,
yeah.
oh,
So those same workers say that it only gets creepier when you're in that part of the house because it's so isolated and so fucking big from everybody else that you can't hear anything.
Is the building 3 stories tall?
I'm
Like,
not entirely
technically.
I'm not entirely sure how many stories.
Okay.
But so like I was saying is that they say it's very creepy because you can't hear anything. But if you listen really, really hard, you might just hear Miss Sarah breathing behind you.
Got any more doorknobs? Stay out my sauce closet. But just
Oh, you can go and you been to Chick-fil-A. I can smell it. You bring them sauces? I need that Polynesian sauce.
I knew you were gonna say Polynesian.
You know how much I love the poly sauce.
But you know what's weird about the whole thing is that I also heard that she would fire construction workers on site if they stopped working at any moment, and then
really?
she would just hire a new one. She was like, if you like, that's how terrified she was of like the whole like ghost thing. That she thought that like if you stopped working, she's like, you're fired, you're done.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
it's
think that's
better
true.
than the murder mansion or murder house castle.
Oh, we're talking about our boy HH.
Holmes?
HH.
H.H. Holmes?
Yeah.
What was this? Yeah. How he would just be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to kill all these construction workers so I don't have to pay them.
I read that book, Devil in the White City. It's pretty trippy.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking
Have we
nuts.
done a story on that?
No, not yet. We'll have
What-
to do that one.
I feel like that's one
It's
that...
just like a heavy hitter, so I don't like to cover it too
Yeah.
soon. You know, it's
yeah.
like,
I feel like that's one that would take a whole episode.
yeah, that guy
By
is
itself.
fucking nuts. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll cover that one soon. But I
Yep.
guess that's all we have for you guys today.
Yep.
And thank you guys for tuning in. We always appreciate it when you do. Check out Instagram, Facebook, Twitter if you guys want to. We have all of our stuff on there. We'll post some stuff. We also have a website, campstrange.com. You go there, click the contact tab, send us your strange, weird, wacky stories, or just send it to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. And
I also apologize for being very bad at doing my Photoshop pictures lately. I've been incredibly busy with work.
get your shit together.
I know. I'm so upset I haven't done a Chi-Chi photo.
Yeah, you don't have any Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi, do you love me?
I'm hoping that I get a Chi-Chi out before this episode comes out.
You better.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys. We got merch too. If you guys want to buy that, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool. We don't care. We got salsas now, homemade salsas.
Yeah. Oh, are we starting this?
Was
that starting it?
That wasn't me starting. I'm just saying, like, I'm just thinking about some salsas.
We should make our own sauce.
What do you got though?
We got the old David and Alex homebrew sauce made with real rabbit fur and your mother's garlic.
We got Chester cobble pot and a side of taters.
That's a great movie.
But who is Chester Cobblepot? Why'd I say that name?
That's Goonies.
Is it really?
That's they're looking for Chester Copperpot's treasure.
Oh my god, where did I pull that name out of? That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else we got?
We got wine stoppers, but they got holes in them.
We got horse. That's one more horse than you expected.
That's too much horse.
It's never too much horse.
We got horse grease. Sounds expensive.
We have a fan that blows backwards and sucks you up into the ceiling. Chip your tooth. Put it on a shirt.
Put it on a shirt. We also have Lemmings, that old computer game.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
You don't know that game?
Nope. We have Penguin Club though. Club Penguin. Fuck.
I'm done.
We have a rock that when you throw it and hit somebody, it hurts 2 times as bad. Okay, we're done.
It's a pet rock.
We're done. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. We love what you do, and we love telling you these stories. So stay tuned for more. 50. Let's get to 100 now. Let's do it. David, you got anything to say?
Don't forget to wax your skis and snowboards before you hit the slopes. Cowabunga, my dude.
And don't forget to stay strange.